Welcome to another edition of Insurance Questions Podcast. And how appropriate, Billy, episode 97, as we were all 97 Rock fans back in the day.
I remember
It
the
is Wednesday, June 26th, 2024. And I gotta tell you boys something. Well, I'm gonna introduce everybody first, okay? Donnie Lowe, Tyler, our creator, our producer, and the one and only Billy Sheehan. Now, Billy, this is our episode 97. Do you know you were on episode 19? That's how long it doesn't seem that long.
seems like only yesterday.
Yeah, and it was great because we were having issues. Billy was on his iPhone. Today, your setup looks really cool. And I had a laugh because a couple days before our last interview, I said, Billy, I got some homework for you. I want you to ask me an insurance question. And I go, hey, Billy, you got any questions about insurance? He goes, no. I heard it's good.
I should bring my wife down. She pays the bills, so she'd have a question for you probably.
Well, that's okay, Billy, because you gave me some advice last time. You said I got to keep on moving until my personality starts improving. It hasn't improved yet, Billy.
Incrementally.
As we know, that was from a wonderful Talus song from my Ute when I spent Ute in South Buffalo.
What is a Ute?
A salty dog with Billy Sheehan and the boys.
The crew members always remember the salty dog because there's all these stairs they had to carry the gear up.
It was painful. It was. Do you know what we're talking about, Donnie?
No, I've never been there.
Billy, do you remember they used to have the boxing ring set up in the one corner?
Yeah, I think so. I remember
had
that.
Foxy boxing, and I can't see what they were called now, but little people wrestling. So, I can't be inappropriate. So Donnie's been geeking out. What question do you have for Mr. Billy Sheehan?
Well, actually, the first one is because I see your impressive display behind you of all your bases. How many do you have?
This is wall one, which is
wow.
The wall continues on the other side. And also there's racks on the floor too. So over 50 years of playing, you acquire a bunch through various means, whatever. A lot of stuff from Yamaha, a lot of wonderful gifts, generous people have been kind enough to give me. And some that I'm not so much a collector, but I do have a couple of pieces that I have worth and are a little bit rare or vintage.
Oh, nice.
Through the years, I sold a couple off and regretted it and managed to buy most of them back again.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, it was a couple things. My first original double neck I sold off, but then I found the guy and bought it back. He was kind enough to sell it to me what he paid for it, so that was nice. But and lately I just posted a picture.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that because as always, I'm keeping up on you. See what I did there, Billy? Working it in there for you, buddy.
Look at that! Look at that! Genius marketing. So I just posted. Picked it up and was playing it. I always have my iPhone pointed at me with on selfie video because I'm usually, if I come up with a lick or a riff or a new idea on bass, I can just click and collect them all. Or a song idea. I write a lot and I collect ideas here. Later on, we build them into songs. But so I just took a quick photo and posted it. Didn't think anything of it. There's about 2,000 comments on there now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, about 20,000 views. So it's pretty cool. A lot of people are aware of that bass, and that's up until I left Buffalo in '85. That was everything. I played every show on that bass.
Oh,
So
wow.
thousands of shows. And then I continued through the David Lee Roth era and into Mr. Big with it as well. So it's got some mileage on it, and a lot of comments about how beat up it was.
How old are those stickers, Billy?
Those were done in '86 on the Edemus Mount tour. Elwood, I forgot Elwood's last name, but he's the ZZ Top bass player now. He was one of our crew guys, and I was getting soaking wet with sweat every night, and I didn't want to paint the bass.
Yeah.
So he had these skateboard stickers because he's a skateboarder. I was too back in the '60s, but I stopped in lieu of
Right.
hurting my hand. And so he gave me a couple of them. I put it on there to keep the sweat off the base. And one guy asked the question, I answered that, and he didn't believe me. So no convincing anyone these days with the internet. But that's what they're there for. But I was a skateboarding fan, but I was skateboarding in the 60s when we had metal wheels, steel wheels.
Oh yeah.
Then the roller derby boards came out with clay wheels, and I was used that for a while until they finally came out with the modern wheels and trucks, which are pretty awesome. I have it, but I'm careful because if I fall, I'm out of business, you know.
I'm gonna have to send you some of my EBI stickers for your base.
Yeah, everybody needs insurance.
Right? Right? Hey, look, we're helping each other out here. Okay, Tyler, come on. I know you want to ask him some questions. I talked to you a little bit this morning.
Yeah, I'm curious, Billy, is there like do you have a favorite venue that you've played? I mean, I know, sometimes the big stadiums are cool, but is there like maybe it's a stadium, but is it I know the intimate settings are cool too. So is there kind of like a venue where you're like, oh, that was the best place to play?
There was a bunch, and you're right, small places are a riot because you're close up. Every time we set up at a big place, there's the stage and then there's the barricade. And the barricade is like 8 feet back from the stage. And I go, no, 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 no. It's got to be up close or remove it one way or the other. And there's laws and rules that we can't. But I always get in a fight with the local production about moving it closer. So if you can get it about this close, then at least I can reach out and shake people's hands. A lot of times I'll hand them my bass, to strum it a little bit or whatever. But just with and I always say the farther back the barricade, the worse the show is, because you really need people up close. Came from back in the day in Buffalo where there was the Barrelhead on Tuesday nights. The stage was about this high, and we'd end a set and there's no dressing room, so you just step off the stage, sit down at somebody's table, hang out, look up at the clock. Time for set number 2. And so we were never separated out from the audience, which was cool because they were all we knew them all, and it really created a great scene with fans and band. It was more of a friend thing. But there was a place in LA, pretty famous place called the Baked Potato, and mostly jazz. So I've got a kind of a jazz themed trio called Niacin with bass, drums, and a Hammond B3. Dennis Chambers on drums. A monster, amazing player. And we'd play there, and the people would be sitting like here while you're playing.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, could I put my beer on your table? So I'd have my beer right on the table. In between songs, I'd be taking a little drink and stuff. And it only holds, I think, less than 100 people. They jam usually more than that in there. But it's just jam-packed, and people are right there. And it's actually a different kind of pressure. I did a show with Richie Kotzen in 5 shows in Japan opening for the Stones. And at the Tokyo Dome, the closest person at the first row, their face was irrecognizable because they were so far away. It was so far, it was just so enormous. We're up there like we were by ourselves in a big empty room. And off in the distance, you could hear this, this roaring and cheering, but what? It was cool to play in a big place, but up close is preferable for me personally.
Did you ever play at the old Tralf in Buffalo?
Yeah, we did. I don't know how old the old Tralf was. I didn't play there until the 2000s. Maybe it wasn't until at least after 2014, because my first time there was with the Lions.
Okay. So the old Tralf was on Main Street near Fillmore, like in Amherst. And you had to walk downstairs?
No, it wasn't that.
It sounds just like the venue that you were just talking about in LA, where you're right there. It's like seats 100, maybe 100.
It wasn't originally Dirty Dick's Bathhouse, was it?
That I'm not sure about.
That was
I'm not sure about that.
Tiny little place they had to go downstairs to.
It's before my time, boys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Stuffed Mushroom, kind of near the Stuffed Mushroom. Remember that bar?
I remember the Stuffed Mushroom. Yeah, it was a restaurant.
So it was a block away from there. It was on Main Street in Buffalo.
You sure it wasn't
Stuffed Mushroom?
I can picture it. I don't know where it was though.
I don't know. Well, no, it wasn't. Yeah, I left in '85, so everything that came prior to that, I probably played at. After that, a lot of clubs came and went that I never had any experience with, unfortunately.
Oh, sure.
Oh my
Like
gosh,
the,
I didn't do what I normally got to do, Billy. I got to do some house cleaning.
Yeah.
The comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo, Donnie Lowe, Tyler, our creator, and the wonderful Billy Sheehan are purely for entertainment purposes. Say your thing, Donnie. Do your sassy Sarah thing.
I'll do my sassy Sarah. So like, subscribe, click the link below, hit the fan mail button, engage with us. We'll answer your questions, do all of that kind of stuff.
Now let me ask you, Billy, Tennessee. Why Tennessee? Because of all the other musicians down there?
it's kind of Nashville's music city,
Mm-hmm.
and not just country. I'm not a country guy. I'm
Right.
sorry, it's not my thing. God bless them. That's cool, but it's just not my thing. And but all the bus companies and coach companies, when you start a tour, start here.
Really?
So that's convenient.
That's
Yeah, because
interesting.
it used to be California, but it's so expensive to do any kind of business in California. They all just said, "We go to Tennessee. There's no state tax. There's no nothing. There's no." They give themselves. My one friend that moved out here, Ray Lugier, plays drums for Korn. He said moving to Tennessee was like getting a 30% raise. I mean, everything is so much cheaper.
Oh my God, yeah.
So he was one friend of mine that really was an inspiration. We still work together a lot. A couple other guys, a bass player friend of mine, Dave Fowler, but then another gentleman who was the guy at Atlantic Records when Mr. Big we had our hit, guy named Kevin Williamson. He was our A&R guy, and he lives here also. And he came to LA to visit one time. You guys got to come to Nashville. So we looked at a couple other places because we want to get out of LA because it's getting dangerous and ugly and insane.
It looks beautiful where you're at.
It's great. We love it. It's winters are mild, summers aren't too bad for the South. It gets a couple of hot, muggy days. Not
I
bad.
got pulled over for driving in the snow in Texas. There must have been a 1/4 inch of snow. And I'm like, sir, why are you pulling me over? He goes, y'all can't see the snow? I go, dude, I'm from Buffalo. He goes, keep going. But you know what he gave me a ticket for? Come on, Billy.
What?
High speed on ice.
Oh my God!
It was a long road to get to the punchline on that
I
one.
should have seen that coming. Should have seen that coming.
I know, Tyler, you had a question about your daughter that you wanted to ask Billy. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, my 8-year-old son,
son, I'm sorry.
yeah, he's really into music, and he's been taking piano lessons for a couple of years. He wants to get a
Great.
guitar and stuff, but I didn't know, like, if you had, you could recommend things, or like, is it good to start with piano? Is it good to like learn theory first? Like, for a kid just starting out, like where's the best place to start to get a good foundation?
It's tough to have one answer. It depends on the person. I never learned any music theory, or I can't read or write music. I don't know chord charts even. I play only by ear. Um, I take some solace in knowing that I'm not the only guy that does that. There's some other people that have been various degrees of success without that as well. It's always a good thing to know, though. I mean, I still wish I knew more than I do. I work hard on this. I'm down here hours every day practicing and coming up with stuff and everything. So I'm at 71. I'm still motivated like I was when I was 16. I don't know why or how, but I'm grateful for that. But yeah, there's probably a lot of great. As a matter of fact, Claude Schnell just moved to Buffalo. He was Dio's keyboard player, and he lives in Amherst now. And I'm not sure if he's given any kind of lessons, but he's a great player and a wonderful guy.
Tyler's actually in Michigan, Billy.
Was that?
Tyler's actually in Michigan.
Oh, well, then you're out of luck on that one. Sorry.
SOL, Tyler.
Yeah.
Well, if you're ever in Buffalo, look up Claude. But, yeah, there's probably a bunch of great teachers, and a lot of teacher-student relationship is personality based. Sometimes you get a good fit and it's amazing. Sometimes you don't. You get the right teacher that can inspire people the right way, and man, the sky's the limit. It's and at 8 years old, that's a great age to be starting. I wish I would have started that young. I didn't start till around, I don't know, 11 or 12. So he's got to jump on it. But it's really great for your son in so many ways. There's a great book called "This Is Your Brain on Music." Pardon me. And I got in touch with the author. I posted about it, and he wrote to me. And it's just an incredible overview of what the effect music has on us intellectually and emotionally, and how beneficial it is. So that's some good parenting if you're encouraging him to do that. Guitar is a different animal. Some of the things apply, but it's interesting. Keyboards and guitar, the fretboard and a keyboard are much different. I know guys that do both. Tony McAlpine, a guy I played on his first record years ago. He'll be playing fingering guitar on his left hand and playing keyboards on his right, which is impossible in my mind, but he's that good. He can do that. So being able to split your self, mind, and brain to play left and right hand on piano is tough enough, but then to play a completely separate instrument is even farther away. There's a Chinese pianist named Yuja Wang, Yugawang, and she's about the hottest classical pianist out there. Google her version of Flight of the Bumblebee and be seated when you watch it. It's inhuman what she can do. Another young lady, her name is Connie Han, H-A-N. She's also Chinese, tiny little thing, and she rips that keyboard apart like she weighed 400 pounds. And she's so inspiring. And again, as far as fretted instruments, keyboard, fretboards and stuff, there's a Greek guy out now. His name escapes me, but he plays the bouzouki like a fiend. It's just it's fretted and it's guitar-like, but I always think it's sped up when I see it. It's beyond human. So there's no limit to what people can do when they take it. And sometimes just some beautiful chords and a great melody. And I'm a huge fan of classical music. I listen to a lot of keyboard, a lot of Bach, well-tempered clavier, and Oscar Peterson piano, jazz. He was from Toronto originally, I think. So there's a huge spectrum of things to pursue. Just keep encouraging, find the right teacher, and anything can happen.
Yeah, he loves the arts, so I'm continuing.
Beautiful.
He takes dance class and stuff too, so I'm just, if that's what he loves, encouraging him to keep doing that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't have any kids myself, but if I did, they'd all be playing something.
That's wonderful. I
It
know.
reminds me when you were saying about that, I must have been like 20 feet away from Ani DeFranco at Babeville there, and I was looking down on her, and her guitar, it looks like a tiger got at it from the scratch marks from her playing it. It was just friggin' ridiculous,
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad I saved my original bass. A lot of guys sold their first instrument, and I saved mine and kept it going right up until, like I said before, into the 80s, or almost into the 90s, really. I think it had a sister. The sister's on the wall. It's hard to see there. It's the second sunburst after the
the
red.
back.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I had because I needed a backup bass when we were playing. If I drive the truck to Syracuse and my bass breaks, there's no gig. So
God luck.
that was always on the truck.
Yeah.
So I think I only played it on a set or two my whole life, but that was my backup plan for life. Like we all have when we buy insurance.
Wow. Wow. He's working it in again. He's
Beautiful.
working it again. I got a question for you, Mr. Sheehan. I watched your latest video. It would drop like 4 days ago now. And I'm watching, I'm like, why is that lazy bastard just standing there, not playing his bass? Until I figured out what the video was about. Tyler loved the video.
Cool. Yeah, we did that at Sweetwater Music in Fort Wayne. It's a great
That's cool.
mail order. That's how it started, facility. But now they have retail there, and they got 1 million guitars and drum sets and everything. And it's like a pilgrimage to go there. And
That's very cool.
Plug into every pedal in the world and try it out. And they have a full recording studio and video and a full performance auditorium. We did our pre-production for the Mr. Big, this whole tour. We started it all right there. It was about a 2,000 or 3,000 seater, and we just let us take the stage and in the empty, with no audience, of course, and work out the whole set. And before we started playing, our first show was in Beijing, China.
Wow.
Last year, yeah. So
When's the full album drop, Billy?
the new album, I think, July 12th.
You gonna keep on dropping singles until then?
Probably. I have so little to do with that end of it, and people are always surprised that I don't know the intimate details of when it's coming and how it's coming and what the cover art looks like and all that. So, but I generally am. I'm always surprised. Oh, the cover looks great. I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I just sent to Donnie the other day, Robbie Takak from the Goo Goo Dolls, because the old Pink burned down, Billy.
You know, I didn't know that place.
Yeah.
What years was it popular?
Forever, everybody still talks about. I never went there though.
I
Like
never
my
heard of
ex
it.
would always talk about their steak sandwich. And what he was talking about, and I didn't know, I guess Ian Gillan was at Robbie's studio doing an album, and he loved the Pink so much that it's actually on an album cover of his. I just thought that
Oh,
was
wow.
kinda cool.
Yeah,
You
from
know,
2006.
was that what it was, Donnie?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
listened to some of the tracks. It was great. I'll tell you, I saw him when they were with Black Sabbath, and I was so confused because he's drinking it's smoke on the, and dude's gone. He's just gone. Like a couple of minutes later, water. I'm like, wow, wow. I want to know what that dude was on.
I just downloaded the original Broadway production of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Donnie
And
was just talking about that.
that's how I discovered him. Because
Oh.
it was a popular in my school, Kenmore East. They were going to do it as a musical, and I didn't have time to do the bass, so my friend Randy took over and he played bass on it. So I sent it to him as a little jog reminder of our high school days. And but I remember hearing that, go, who is that singer? Wow! And I went out and
Got some
got
pipes, man.
Deep Purple in rock. No, I got Fireball first, and then went back and got In Rock, which is the record before that, and then at that time in the '70s, Deep Purple was like the biggest band there was. It was so amazing.
Well, it just cracks me up that everybody learns that song first on the guitar, "Smoke on the Water."
Yeah, we did
It's
it
the
as
easiest,
we
easiest to
did it
learn.
as we do a switcheroo song in all the Mr. Big shows. This tour we're doing "Good Lovin'" by the Young Rascals.
Oh, that's
Oh, wow.
cool.
But we did Smoke on the Water, and we had I started out singing. Eric played guitar because the guitar part is relatively easy.
Yes.
And our drummer Pat, God rest his soul, played bass, and our guitarist Paul played drums. Then when it came to the solo, we just sustained a note for 4 measures, and I took the guitar from Eric. He took the bass from Pat. Pat switched to lead vocals. I played the guitar solo.
That's
and
awesome.
Wow.
finished out the- so it was,
It was your Freaky Friday show, Billy. I know last year I saw Grand Funk Railroad at the Erie County Fair. You know
Right.
all those songs. That is just,
Oh,
it's
I was
just
gonna mention,
ridiculous.
wasn't Mel the bassist for Grand Funk one of your, you kind of
Huge.
looked up
Yeah.
to him and
yeah, he had the big pickup, big fat EBO style pickup on his jazz bass too. But I remember I did a rock and roll fantasy camp, and one of the other
You've
guys.
done one of those? That's awesome. I finally saw a video on that. It looks so cool.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of them. We did Mark Farner was one of the other guys. So
Still sounds great, by the way.
what's that?
He still sounds great.
Oh, he's amazing. So
Mhm.
he sings his ass off still. So great. I love that band. So sure enough, we're gonna jam the Counselors, me and Mark and whoever else was in. I forgot who was there. And he goes, you know any Grand Funk? And I go, I know them all. pick one and we'll go. Aimless Lady, anything from Closer to Home, or Paranoid, or
oh
So-
wow, yeah.
so
I'm going to get on my soapbox again, like I did last time. If
All
our
right.
listeners out there and you guys have never listened to the album that Billy dropped a couple years ago, 1985 by Talus, there is not a bad song on
Thank you.
that album.
Thank you. Yeah, that was the title of the album being 1985. That's when we were out with Talus and we got actually about the 9th version of Talus. People always think the first version or second
Yeah.
is actually the 9th by actual count version of Talus. So we were out on. We got a call from the William Morris Agency. They wanted to be our agency. Wow, great! And
Right?
do the Ingve tour. He's doing a whole USA tour. It'd be Talus and Ingve. Great. Then we got a call from Danny Goldberg later went on to manage Nirvana. He called and said in his label they wanted to sign us. So, fantastic! We got a tour, we
Awesome.
got a record deal. This is great. Unfortunately, the third call was David Lee Roth's office, seeing if I would like to pick up my feet and move out to California and start a band with him. So I had to. It was tough because the whole tour I knew that, and I couldn't tell anybody. So while I'm on stage, I knew.
Oh, that sucks.
Sorry, guys.
It's a guy from
Much
Buffalo.
less
Hey,
it is.
hey, don't tell anybody, but
That's how you can make sure everybody knows it.
yeah, exactly.
But so we went out and how do we get on the subject? I forgot. We're talking about
I don't know.
1985.
This has turned into another maybe podcast, not insurance podcast. Another maybe.
okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Oh, so 1985. That was the year that all that happened.
Yeah.
And most of those songs, we recorded it live on a live album, but it wasn't really configured right. And so we thought, let's go in and finally record these songs properly, the way we could have if we would have done our record deal back in the day. And so our singer Phil Narrow was just a supreme talent. It was during the pandemic, so I'm here in my studio on this computer using software called Audio Movers, so I could hear the session, which was in Toronto, for him doing his lead vocals. So he's doing his lead vocals in Toronto. I'm here in Nashville, and it's like we're speaking right now, and without a delay. I don't know how they do it. It's amazing. So I could produce him. I had the lyric sheet here, and we go through line by line, get everything right. And he stepped up to that mic and kicked ass. He
amazing.
Killed on that mic. So great. Now, we knew that there was some kind of a health situation
going on,
but we didn't know to what degree. But he did. And so the fact that he got up to that mic knowing what he knew and delivered like he did now just completely blows my mind.
I'm telling you guys,
he
our
passed away
listeners,
soon afterwards. sadly.
download or buy Talus 1985. You will not go wrong on that.
Yeah,
Is that available on vinyl?
yeah, it was out on vinyl. The vinyl
Was it
might
like
be-
red or
Wow.
green, Billy? I forget the
Oh,
color of it. I saw-
about 4 colors.
yeah.
And I've given so many. I don't think I even have it anymore. I don't even have a copy myself. I've
Oh my
given
gosh.
some away, but
Now,
anyway.
how much influence did you have on Eat 'em and Smile? Because obviously Shy Boy's on there, and Ladies Night in Buffalo. I'm guessing you had to have written that one.
I just said it. I just said, "Hey, where'd you go for Thanksgiving?" I go, "I went back to Buffalo." I go, "Well, what was going on?" They go, "I go, it was Ladies' Night in Buffalo," and everybody,
Oh my
"Wow,
God,
Ladies' Night in Buffalo, you can eat it."
that's a
And they
great
saw it.
story.
True story.
Awesome.
So yeah, I wrote a couple lines in Yankee Rose, and but Dave at the time was just really just great and magnanimous and generous, and so he just do your thing, you guys, and so me and
That's
Steve
cool.
we went berserk, and he let us do what we wanted to do, which was really great and quite an adventure, I must say.
I did see an interview with Sebastian Bach, and he was on a plane, and David Lee Roth just happened to be on the back of the plane. He's like, "Come on, buddy, come sit in back with me." And they pretty much we were told to not go back on the plane.
Yeah, don't fly United anymore.
No. You guys don't have, you can go elsewhere next time. Oh my gosh.
So you said some of your affinity of music, you like jazz, and I know with Nice you had the kind of the progressive jazz infusion.
Yeah.
Do you have you been playing that recently or not really?
No, we haven't done anything with that for a while. The pandemic kind of put a hold on everything for almost, over 2 years. And when I finally got back to playing again, I've been playing since February of last year up until end of August this year. So we're making up for lost time, but there hasn't been time for that, unfortunately. But I love playing in the band. The drummer Dennis Chambers is probably one of the greatest musicians.
Well, you must have went from doing the Talus album to the Winery Dogs right into Mr. Big. Boom,
Exactly.
boom, 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 boom. I mean, you're always moving there, pal.
Yeah, I learned that from being on stage. Keep moving. Nobody can throw anything at you.
Right? Oh, there you go. So when are you going to cover like Frankie Yankovic? Because I mean, we are from Buffalo, and Sunday was polka day in my house.
I just got a John Volby record.
Oh my God, Dr. Dirty.
How about it?
Tyler's like, what? Who?
I found it online. I can't believe we,
Oh
we
my
used to
God.
we used to play. We'd have him play the same shows with Talus.
Oh
I
my
would say
God. That had been a
because it was kind
riot.
of a co-headline, and it was just jam with people singing, yeah, 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 yeah. It was hilarious. I assume he's still around. I don't know if
He
he's still in
is. He
Buffalo.
plays like Sunset Bay. I know he was out there a couple times. Do you guys
Oh,
ever play
cool.
out that way towards the lake? Do you ever do like Mickey
Oh
Rats?
yeah, Mickey Rats, the Big Ten Club, a couple of others we played out there.
Mickey
In the
Rats is
summer.
gone now. It's
Yeah,
apartment buildings. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I think the Barrelhead is a dentist's office now.
That's awesome. And the Salty Dog is apartments now too.
Well,
Who knew? Who
who
knew?
knew what
Who knew?
ghosts will be haunting those poor tenants?
That's right.
Well, listen, I don't want to keep you all day. I appreciate you coming on again. And like I said, like last time, I'd love you to do an intro song for the podcast. That'd be awesome if you ever have the
Well, write
time.
to me, write to me and remind me because we're recording today. My engineer's coming in about half an hour. We got a bunch of songs to do. Remind me.
I will. I will.
I'll think of,
I'll either
think of
text
something.
you or throw you an email.
Well,
But
can I plug our Christmas show?
oh my God, sure.
It's going to be at Babeland again, like it was
Oh, really?
last year. It
That's
was great.
awesome.
Full horn section. We got strings. We got backup singers. All kinds of songs.
And if you
All
guys
kinds.
have never been there, it is a beautiful venue. And the
Oh, it's
grotto
just great.
downstairs, the bar is just
Fantastic.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's December 14th. We have the Musicians of Buffalo, MOB, the Mob. We got all
That's
bunch
awesome.
of local players. Jesse Galante, Bobby LaBelle. Just a great lineup. Ron Rocco showed up. Mark Miller from Talus was there. Just a lot of people come down and jam with us and play. It's a great bunch of songs. We're gonna do a couple surprise songs this year, and so if everybody can make it down, it's all for charity. I don't get paid a single penny. I pay for my own flight. I sleep at my cousin's house, and and I don't get any money. I do it just because to see my friends in Buffalo and
I'm going to try to come home early then for that because I totally missed the June 6th show, but Billy was nice enough. I even sent the video to these two guys. Who shot that for you? Was that a roadie or one of your friends?
I don't recall. Sorry, I don't know.
Because it was a shot of you guys. Whoever was shooting it was behind you. You guys were playing and the crowd in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. We got our famous drum tech, Jose. He gets up behind
Jose?
takes the photo.
Well, thank you, Jose. I was getting homesick. I telling Billy I was listening to Talus. I was listening to Joyce Nixon. We lost her a couple of years ago. That woman had a wonderful voice.
Wow.
You know? And I know Jeff it's been a rough road for him right now. But once again, like we end all our shows, if you like working with people like us, I don't know why. We're the people to see. www.ebiagency.com, 716-306-2020. I want to thank Donnie Lowe, Tyler, our creator, and the one and only Mr. Billy Sheehan. I'm your buddy Eddie Buffalo. Until next time, take it easy.
Thanks a lot.
Ciao.
The button, Don. Where's the button?
You still can't find a button after all
There
these
it is.
episodes.